Rose, what were you doing last Tuesday night?
I don't really recall.
I mean, are you sure you don't remember anything?
Yeah, it was all a blur.
Who were you with last night?
I said I don't know.
This is taking too long. We gave Polonius his time. I'll take it from here, Polonius.
Oh,
This is a serious investigation. I'll take it from here. Ringing bells?
Yeah, that's Ophelia. I was actually with her Tuesday night.
Ophelia was found dead early Wednesday morning. Any ideas how that happened?
It was a horrible thing that happened to her. You know, Ophelia was acting a bit strange that night.
Strange. How so?
So whenever we were at the party, she was always looking around as if she was being watched. And she was always fidgety and anxious.
Okay. Tell me exactly what happened and start from the beginning.
So Ophelia and I were invited to Fortina's dinner party that night. Fortina has been close friends with Ophelia and her family for as long as I could remember. We arrived at her house at around 7, and our other friends, Marcy, Leah, Gertrude, and Fortina were there as well. After dinner, we went to the study for some drinks. It was then when we heard Horatio scream. We then ran to the orchard where we found Ophelia's dead body.
Is that everything?
Yes? Do you think I did it?
I'm only doing what I have to. Something is rotten in the state of Denmark.
Whatever. Is that all?
You're free to go.
How'd the investigation go?
just fine. The suspect was pretty easy to crack.
That sounds great. Claudia actually just assigned me on her case.
Oh, I thought she would have me on the case with her.
I know, I'm surprised too, but you'll probably get the next case.
Yeah. Maybe I could just give you some words of advice so you could carry it on to your case.
Yeah, sure.
Here, my blessing with thee, and these few precepts in thy memory. Look thou, character, give these thoughts no tongue, nor any unproportioned thought his act. Be thou similar, but by no means vulgar. Those friends thou hast and their adoption tried, grapple them unto thy soul with hoops of steel, but do not dull thy palm with entertainment.
Sorry I'm late. I couldn't help but hear Polonius on the way in. I have some wise words to share. Every man thy ear, but fear thy judgment. Take each man's censure, but reserve thy judgment. Costly thy habit, as they pursue can buy, but do not express in fancy, rich nor gaudy. For the apparel proclaims of the man, and in France of the best rank and section, are most select and generous chief in that.
Neither a borrower nor a lender be, for loan oft loses both itself and friend, and borrowing dulls the edge of husbandry. This above all, to thine own self be true. And it must follow as the night the day. Thou carest not then be false to any man. Farewell, my blessing season this in thee.
Claudia always comes in early. Where could she be? We really need to work on this case.
Yeah, she told me that she was feeling sick, and she's not gonna come in today.
Feeling sick. I feel like she'd still be the type to come in even if she was sick.
Well, what matters is that I'm here now, and if she's too sick to come in, then I'll just take the lead. And, yeah.
How sick is Claudia?
From what she told me, I don't expect her to be out of bed anytime soon. Enough chit-chat. It's time to get back to work.
Alright, we'll just discuss this later.
Good afternoon, Marcy. Friend Rose was here yesterday, after what happened to Ophelia.
What do you want to know? I have nothing to hide.
Everything. I want to know everything.
I was invited to Fortina's dinner party. It started at 7, but I arrived a little late. Once I was greeted by Fortina, I went to sit down next to Gertrude. Gertrude and I were just talking about how we heard Ophelia's family just came by a big sum of money recently. I saw Rose and Leah talking to each other, and Fortina was with her staff preparing the dinner. Ophelia was nowhere to be seen.
Do you have any idea how long Ophelia was gone for?
Do I look like her bodyguard? I don't know how she was the whole time.
Alright, no need to get hostile. Everyone at the party is a suspect, just like you, alright?
Are we done here?
What do you remember seeing at the scene of the crime?
I remember there was broken glass around her. There was a lot of blood.
That one may smile, and be a villain.
What makes you think it's even a murder? Maybe she just tripped over a rock and died.
Alright. Marcy, I think we're done here. Thanks for your time and consideration.
My pleasure.
Alright, hello Gertrude. How are you today?
Not good. I haven't taken what's happened to Ophelia very well.
Alright. I just have a few questions. So what do you remember that night? What happened?
Once I arrived to the dinner party, I was talking to Marcy, and I didn't know where Ophelia was when I got there. I went to go find the bathroom, and I overheard Ophelia yelling on the phone with somebody. After Ophelia was done, she left the bathroom looking quite distraught. Rose and Leia were together. Fortina was helping the staff with the flower arrangements.
Alright, Gertrude. Who do you think Ophelia was talking to on the phone that night?
I don't know. Maybe someone in her family. I've heard they've been going through family issues.
Family issues. What family issues?
I don't know. Ophelia doesn't talk about her family that much.
Alright. Okay, Gertrude. Thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, and please find justice for my good friend.
Help me.
If only. To thine own self be true. Karmaza.
Excuse me, miss, you forgot your phone.
Oh, thank you.
Gertrude seemed perfectly fine to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Should definitely look into that. My offense is rank. It smells to heaven. It hath the primal eldest curse upon't, a brother's murder. Pray, can I not? Though inclination be as sharp as will, my stronger guilt defeats my strong intent, and, like a man to double business bound, I stand and pause where I shall first begin, and both neglect. What if this cursed hand were thicker than itself with brother's blood? Is there not rain enough in the sweet heavens to wash it white as snow? Whereto serves mercy but to confront the visage of offense? And what's in prayer but this twofold force? To be forestalled ere we come to fall, or pardoned being down? Then I'll look up. My fault is past. What am I saying? This case is messing up my emotions. Hopefully, after these last two, it'll all be back to normal.
Alright, so Leia, do you have any reason for me to believe that Gertrude would harm Ophelia?
Not that I know of. I always thought that Gertrude was a loyal friend to Ophelia.
Did anything happen between them?
Well, you didn't hear anything from me, but Ophelia has been getting pretty cozy with Gertrude's boyfriend. They've been spending an awful lot of time together, just as friends. I'm not supposed to say, but Ophelia has been in love with Gertrude's boyfriend for as long as I can remember, but hasn't done anything because he's her friend's lover.
Interesting. You think they could have had an affair?
Ophelia acts all innocent, but we all know that she isn't.
Alright. Okay, what about your friend Marcy? Is there any reason why she would be the suspect for the murder?
Marcy has been jealous of Ophelia's family's wealth for years. Once Ophelia's parents step down, we all know that Ophelia is going to inherit the family business. Marcy knows that Ophelia is getting handed down a boatload of money even though she hasn't had to work a day in her life.
Okay. So what were you doing at the party?
Well, Rose and I were just talking about the partnership between Fortina and Ophelia's family.
What kind of business were they involved in?
Well, I heard they've been working with unspoken money.
Unspoken money.
Yeah, well, dirty money.
What kind of dirty money?
Honestly, sir, I really don't know.
Okay then, Leia. Where were you at the time of Ophelia's death?
I was in the study with the others having drinks when we heard Horatio scream.
Alright. Interesting. Alright. Well, we have enough information from you for now. Thank you so much, Fortina. So, tell me about your family's business and how it relates to Ophelia's family's business.
I don't see how my family business relates to this case.
That's funny because I actually did some digging, and it turns out your family made a deal with Ophelia's family, and her family backed out at the last minute, causing yours to lose quite a lot of money. about $1 million.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Fortina, I know you're a smart girl. Don't be dumb.
Fine, we lost millions of dollars to that snake of a family. My family lost everything. We got blamed for everything, and now my parents are going to jail. You have some nerve coming to me about this when my family are going through so much right now.
Well, that's what happens when you're in the money laundering business.
Listen here, mister. My family and I have worked hard to get where we were, and Daddy's little princess only had to sit back and watch her little workers do everything for her. She got what she deserved.
Well, we're definitely going to need you here for more questioning.
But I want to leave.
Yeah. We're legally allowed to have you here for 48 more hours, so get comfortable.
What are we gonna do? We have 3 strong leads.
Yeah, I know, that's the problem. Marcy's motive could have been jealousy, Gertrude's motive could have been payback, Fortina's motive could have been vengeance.
You know that Marcy was in the study with Rose and Leia. The other staff members can testify to that. Gertrude was never seen in the study with the other guests. Fortina said that she had to go check on something, which was around the same time of Ophelia's death, shortly after Horatio found Ophelia's body.
Well, I think I'll probably find some more about Gertrude. She was pretty vulnerable.
What's this?
We tracked down the messages that you got at the dinner party, and apparently you and your boyfriend had quite a conversation.
No one was supposed to find out about this.
Do you want to tell me what happened?
To be or not to be? That is the question. Whether it's nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous torture or to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing end them, to die, to sleep no more, and by sleep to say that we end the heartache and the 1,000 natural shocks that flesh is heir to. It's a consummation devotedly to be wished. To die, to sleep perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come, the which we have shuffled off this mortal coil, must give us pause. There's a respect that makes this calamity of so long life. I didn't tell anyone where I was because I didn't want them to know what I was doing.
Alright, I got it. Thank you for your honesty.
You think Gertrude is still suspect?
No, she weeps for what is done.
Finally, I've been waiting here forever.
Why'd you do it?
Do what?
Why'd you kill Ophelia? Everybody else's stories check out.
What about Gertrude? She has a bigger motive than anyone else. You can't just accuse me.
Gertrude was actually talking to her boyfriend at the time of Ophelia's death. And we know this because right here, we could see the time of the text.
Why would I do something like that? It's preposterous.
Your story is the only one that doesn't check out. Do you want me to tell you what I think happened? You were so enraged by the fallout of the deal because your family suffered all the consequences, while Ophelia's family got off squeaky clean. So you wanted revenge. You found an empty wine glass and followed Ophelia to the orchard, where she was just admiring flowers. Seeing as she was all alone and vulnerable, you smashed the wine glass and ran away before Horatio found the body.
I did what I had to do, and I would do it again in a heartbeat.
Huh. Thanks. That's all I needed to hear.
How does it feel telling your first routines?
Well, I mean, what can I say? I was born to do this job.
It's unfortunate that Claudia isn't here because you're easily going to take her position.
No, you're right. Lead detective. I like the sound of that.